Side at 5 starts now.
A suspected serial killer in Phoenix. This morning, Phoenix police announced the arrest of former felon in the murders of 9 people, including his mother and stepfather. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Guy Ashley.
And I'm Stella Inger. The murders took place over the course of 3 weeks in Phoenix and the suburbs of Glendale and Avondale. 35-year-old Cleophas Cooksey currently faces 9 counts of first-degree murder and is being investigated in the other shooting deaths.
ABC's Linda Lopez tells us how police put it all together.
On December 17th, when Phoenix police responded to a disturbance, they were confronted by Cleophas Cooksey.
Cooksey had some blood on him and appeared to be concealing things. Ultimately, Cooksey's mother, Renee Cooksey, and her husband, Edward Nunn, were discovered deceased of apparent gunshot wounds inside that house.
Cooksey was taken into custody.
Phoenix police officers arrested Cooksey on scene, and he's been in jail since.
Now, police say new technology helped them connect Cooksey to 7 other murders by testing guns and shell casings from each homicide scene.
What once took weeks can now take place in only a matter of hours.
On November 27th, authorities say Cooksey began a killing spree that claimed 9 lives in 3 weeks. In that time, 7 men and his mother were shot and killed. Police say the other victim, Maria Villanueva, was sexually assaulted, then murdered. Court records show Cooksey had a previous criminal record for armed robbery and manslaughter 16 years ago. He was released from prison about a year ago and has been in and out of jail since. And authorities say if Cooksey is found guilty of all 9 murders, he will be one of the most prolific serial killers in Arizona history. Linda Lopez, ABC News, New York.
The California couple at the center of torture investigation involving their 13 children found shackled appeared in court today. 56-year-old David Turpin and 49-year-old Louise Turpin pleaded not guilty. They are each charged with 12 counts of torture. The judge set the bond at $12 million. They could get close to 100 years in prison if convicted.
The parents would apparently buy food for themselves and not allow the children to eat it.
And today, the district attorney releasing startling new details in the torture case. The children were fed once a day and allowed to shower twice a year. The children slept all day and stayed up at night. As the brave 17-year-old girl who blew the case wide open with her daring escape, she planned it for 2 years. She stole a cell phone and jumped out of a window to call 911. The children range in age from 2 to 29. They are currently hospitalized.
The House could take steps to pass a budget deal tonight before a government shutdown tomorrow. The big issue is DACA, and communities are rallying across the nation. The most recent proposal would temporarily fund the federal government, extend the Children's Health Insurance Program for 6 years, and delay some Obamacare taxes. It's not a popular choice for some conservatives, and some Democrats still insist the spending bill should include a DACA fix. Republican leaders say they're waiting on some direction from the president.
I'm looking for something that President Trump supports, and he's not yet indicated what measure he's willing to sign. As soon as we figure out what he is for, then I would be convinced that we were not just spinning our wheels.
If that proposal passes, the issue goes to the Senate, where there's even less room for opposition. They need 60 votes total and at least 11 Democrats to vote yes.
Tens of thousands of federal workers in Arizona may be sent home furloughed if Congress fails to reach a budget deal. If the shutdown goes through, the military will continue work without pay and civilians won't work at all. The military will be reimbursed for their pay, but civilians and other federal workers furloughed may not see a dime. That's according to the Associated Press. And national parks like Saguaro National Park will not be open, and the Department of State will operate until their set funds last. That means if you need a passport, the time to get it is probably now.
Arizona's unemployment rate is on the rise. A new report released by the Department of Administration's Economic Research says the unemployment rate rose to 4.5% in December. That's up from 4.3% in November. The report says Arizona's economy added 5,700 non-farm jobs in December for a gain that was slightly less than the average of 6,000 jobs. Meanwhile, in Pennsylvania, President Trump says the Republicans' tax overhaul is already benefiting the U.S. economy.
African American unemployment is at its lowest level ever recorded. Hispanic American unemployment has hit its all-time lows. Lowest ever.
The president gave a speech in western Pennsylvania touting the tax reform and economy just a day after Apple announced it's giving its employees bonuses, opening up a new campus and adding 20,000 jobs. The president's trip comes as the White House makes a big push to help Republicans in a congressional special election in March. Voters will choose a candidate to replace a Republican congressman who resigned in scandal last October. The president proclaiming on Twitter Thursday that he's throwing his total support behind GOP candidate Rick Saccone. Tucson Unified School District is asking the city and county to step up and pay for Tucson High's new football field.
TUSD says the city is partially to blame after it flooded because of monsoonal storms. 9 News 5's Jennifer Martinez has more on getting the field ready just in time for graduation.
It seems to be a finger-pointing battle between the city and TUSD, who is ultimately responsible for the flood that left Tucson High School's football field underwater. District officials claim the city and county didn't maintain a stream near the school, which caused the field to flood. Andy Denauer with Pima County Flood Authority was called in to check things out. In a statement to KGUN 9, he said there was nothing wrong with the drainage system. In a quote, he said it was very evident that the great inlets around the perimeter of the field had become clogged by surface runoff debris that had come from Tucson High School campus and or the West University neighborhood, U of A, or 6th Street area. Mike Rankin, Tucson City Attorney, says the city received claims last week from TUSD that could turn into a lawsuit. He can't say much, but he did say the city did make efforts to work with TUSD over the last several months to try to resolve the issues relating to Tucson High. But TUSD chose to move forward by filing the claims. The city does not believe that it has any responsibility for the flood event that is subject of the claims. At Tuesday's board meeting, Crystal Ann Foster said the goal of the city, TUSD, and superintendent was to get this field up and running again.
I just want to acknowledge that goal and that it absolutely was tragic what happened this school year, but we all have our eye on graduation day for Tucson High's field.
The cost in the hundreds of thousands. Jennifer Martinez, KGUN 9 on your side.
And we reached out to Tucson Unified School District. They have not commented.
In weather, winter is winter, or at least it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it won't feel like it tomorrow either. Our temperature is running way above normal. Right now we're at 73, mostly sunny skies. You'll still want the sunblock and the sunglasses come tomorrow as we top out at 77. In the 70s for most of southern Arizona at this point, although Safford at 60, upper 50s Wilcox, 62 in Sierra Vista. This storm system, though, is a big game changer, and it's getting set to knock our temperatures down to the 50s. We've also tweaked our chance for rain. It is improving for the weekend. We'll talk about that coming up.
They are the eyes and ears of U.S. highways, a brand new partnership to stop human trafficking in Arizona. Truckers hitting the open road with a new mission in mind.
Plus, a new plan to fight the opioid emergency in rural areas throughout southern Arizona. You're watching KGUN 9 on your side.
Empowering and educating first responders in outlying parts of Arizona to spot and treat those addicted to opioids. The U of A just received a $2 million grant to train rural firefighters and police officers. The first responders will learn how to recognize the symptoms of opioid abuse and treat overdoses.
The Arizona Attorney General is partnering with truck drivers in our state to fight human trafficking. The Attorney General's office is donating more than 25,000 window stickers for truck driving throughout Arizona. Truck drivers with the National Human Trafficking Hotline phone number and a number for victims to text in for help. Attorney General Mark Brnovich says this should help victims escape and help his office. In recent years, truckers have identified more than 1,000 possible victims of human trafficking.
Now let's get back to Aaron.
Guy, our skies will stay clear here overnight as we dip to just about 40 degrees and the wind not too terribly strong. Coming up, though, we'll talk about when the wind is going to return.
And Amazon narrowing the field for its second headquarters. What the top 20 cities have in common. You're watching KGUN 9 on your side.
If you have a lot of money to pay off on your credit card, you're not alone. Tucson is in the top 5% of cities in the U.S. with the highest amount of credit card debt. According to personal financial website Wallet Hub, the average Tucsonan's credit card balance is more than $2,500. The average amount of interest we're paying is $261. The time frame to pay it off, 15 months.
And happening right now, it is a way to shop and help our community at the same time. This is the annual Just Between Friends event. Families can shop and save almost 50 to 90% off the retail price on things like clothing, toys, electronics, furniture, and so much more. It's at the Tucson Convention Center until this Saturday. That day, on Saturday, everything will be half price. Admission is free tomorrow and Saturday. If you'd like more information, just head to our website, kgun9.com.
Amazon officially released the top 20 contenders for its second headquarters, and no, Arizona is not on it.
Tucson sent a saguaro to get on that list. Amazon politely rejected. Annie Taylor has the finalists.
218 cities got cut, 20 are left, and we are in one of those top 20 cities, Denver, Colorado. Now, Denver already has an Amazon distribution center. We'll just have to wait and see if that's enough for them to win. But right now, Amazon's headquarters is on the West Coast in Seattle, Washington. But take a look at this map. The majority of the short list include East Coast cities: New York City, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Boston, Raleigh, Atlanta, Columbus, and Miami. Amazon hasn't said why those 20 cities were picked as the top 20 contenders, but Amazon did say whichever one wins, they will throw $5 billion into that second headquarters and add 50,000 new jobs. If you're wondering when we'll find out the winner, Amazon says sometime this year. I'm Annie Taylor.
Now, KGUN 9 on your side first warning weather, brought to you by Casino del Sol, the soul of Tucson.
We give you a live look outside from Twin Peaks and Silver Bell. This is looking to the southeast and just a few of those high-level cirrus clouds right now. 73 degrees, and at the airport we do have clear skies being reported. Our humidity 14%, wind is from the north. 7 miles per hour there. We are seeing our highs topping out in the 70s again today. 75 for Tucson and Phoenix, Gila Bend, 73 Nogales, but 60s across Cochise and Graham County. Still holding on to some of that cooler air, sort of the remnants of that backdoor cold front. Tomorrow, though, you'll want to hold on to the sunglasses and the sunscreen. 77 full-on sunshine for us. Maybe a few high-level clouds. That would be it. But you will notice the wind starting to return. That is a sign that that storm system is trying to move in and the pressure will start changing. 11 degrees above average, though, will have you feeling pretty spring-like, maybe even a case of spring fever with it being a Friday and all. But winter will return over the weekend, I assure you. Our highs across Cochise County tomorrow, we're expecting 72 in the Douglas area, 72 Tombstone, upper 60s, though, for Bisbee and Wilcox, 72 Sierra Vista, 71 for Sonoyta, 78 Marana, 73 in Nogales, upper 70s here from Ajo through Sells. That same 77 forecast for the Tucson area will also be felt across Vail, Benson, and Mammoth. 79 in Sahuarita, you'll be kissing 80, and then 73 for Oro Valley. But we don't have a lot to track for you right now with our clouds and rain because it's all just waiting with this storm system. Look at this. It is massive. There's that center of circulation, that area of greatest spin that is kind of churning all the clouds, the moisture our way. The speckled clouds there, you can see that. That's indicating to us some very cold air associated with this system, already bringing on some high elevation snow there across the northwest. But as this storm system, which is advertised on our futurecast to start dipping across the Intermountain West come tomorrow, makes its approach, we too will start to get in on some of that rain and mountain snow action. Here's a closer look. We've zoomed in on our futurecast across southern Arizona so you can get a better feel for the timing, keep track of the day and the time up there. We start to see our skies clouding over Saturday afternoon, and then the rain moving in perhaps around 4 or 5 o'clock. Now, this is not necessarily exact. Could be as early as 1 or 2 in the afternoon, or maybe even a little bit later, like 6 o'clock or so. But it just gives us sort of a general time frame or a window where we'll want to watch for that rain to arrive. And we even see some of that high elevation snow there. The pink, that's the rain changing over to snow. The white, that's full-fledged flakes, and so is that bluish purple color. It will feel like the seasons are really changing overnight. After our 75 today, again 77 tomorrow, dropping down to 54 for our Saturday, Sunday at 56. And again, we are still calling for a chance for rain, but we've bumped it up to about 60% here for Tucson on Saturday. That will equate to a 90% chance for snow above the 6,000 foot level atop Mount Lemmon. We do rebound back into the 60s Monday, Tuesday, 70s Wednesday and Thursday. Guy, Stella.
Aaron, thank you. An intense break-in caught on camera in Las Vegas.
Coming up, what this thief wound up getting away with. You're watching KGUN 9 on your side. On KGUN 9 on your side at 6. Groundbreaking soon at Tucson's Convention Center. About to get something it's been lacking for a long time. How it will support large trade shows like the Gem and Mineral Show. Coming up at 6.
In HD, you're watching KGUN 9 on your side.
Caught on home surveillance, an attempted brazen break-in, but ultimately a fail. Take a look. You can hear how much force this would-be thief put into the attempted break-in. He throws his entire body at the door, tries to kick it in. He finally gave up. The homeowner says the same man could be seen stealing a package and an envelope from the very same house 20 minutes before the attempted break-in. The package he stole contained kitchen placemats.
Drones now being used to save lives. You got to see this. Off the coast of Australia, a drone was used to drop an inflatable yellow rescue pod to 2 teens struggling in the water. Lifeguards were actually getting ready for a training session with the drone when the real-life emergency happened. The boys were able to hold on to the pod and get to shore safely. So that whole rescue, I read, took about 70 seconds, where it usually takes, on average, about 7 to 8 minutes.
Right place, right time. We'll be right back.
Aaron, you had a chance to spend some time with some very gifted students today.
Yeah, Miss Hardesty's class of 3rd and 4th graders. We talked weather. I got to go back to school today. I learned a few things too. What an intelligent class. They had been studying natural disasters earlier in the school year, and they showed me some of their presentations, like this one about tornadoes. We also talked about tsunamis, all sorts of different things. And they even worked on some weather prediction tools. They tried to redevelop them to improve upon like the modern day tools that we have now and to make them even better.
3rd and 4th graders?
Yeah, 3rd and 4th graders.
Wow.
Pretty amazing. So a big thank you to Miss Hardesty and her classroom today for having me there at Twin Peaks Elementary.
All right, Aaron, thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us.
World News Tonight is coming up next. We'll see you back here at 6.